it's half technology, it's half psychology. So technology, I would say it's digital surveillance, so the mining of our data and following and tracking whatever we do on the internet and targeting us with some particular content. It's also addictive algorithms, which are a huge problem. We keep scrolling, we don't want to put it down. And then the other half, I would say, of the problem, which complements it and forms a vicious circle, is our psychology. It's our human nature. It's how we are triggered by some content, become stressed or outraged, and have this, we feel that we need to respond. It's also what makes social platforms so addictive. So they both go hand in hand, and since education and behavior change is very, very hard to accomplish, we should work or focus mostly on the other half of the problem, which is the technology. So we should regulate platforms much, much more strictly than we are doing now.
So in general, I think there's two separate issues here, which is there's a regulation issue and then an implementation issue. Of course, I think that all companies should be implementing and adhering, of course, to all current legislation. But I think that when it comes to regulation, you can actually ask companies what could they be doing more. So going beyond the actual current levels of regulation, which, as we heard during the panel, are not going to catch up quick enough to actually make a meaningful impact. So I think companies that really want to be a front runner in this space should be developing codes of conduct and should be talking to other peers about how they themselves are going to move the needle faster rather than relying on international or even national levels of regulation. I think it's a difficult space, especially when it comes to AI. We see people creating things and then later coming back and saying, oh no, I opened Pandora's box, now we need regulation. So I think a level of self-restraint, which was also brought up today, is really important, and ultimately the understanding that as a company, you want to be on the front-running side of this. You don't want to be a laggard. Even when the regulation comes, you don't want to be fined, but most importantly, you don't want to be responsible for creating a situation that could potentially destabilize elections, contribute to polarization. So while it's difficult from a market perspective at times to put yourself on the front lines and say, I'm going to be the person that regulates more, that implements harder, that adheres the most strictly, I think you need to stop thinking about it in those terms and actually think about it from a societal perspective and a long-term perspective of what this could actually look like for your company and the world.
Some have, and some could be more. We've done work on this for a long time now. We have published the European Democracy Action Plan, which includes measures on combating disinformation. It also includes measures on improving safety of journalists and overall broadening the discussion on how we can fight disinformation. Most recently, we are working on also combating disinformation through the Digital Services Act and a number of other initiatives that frame the conversations in the digital space. As we look at the challenges that are in front of us, we are faced with the European elections that will shape the future of our democracy. And there, we believe that there's going to be plenty of work for the future Commission to continue ensuring that there are safeguards put in place to allow for free and safe exchange of information. We feel that information is the antidote for disinformation, and we hope that the next Commission will continue investing in credible and relevant information being disseminated.
The way I see disinformation is that it's a pressing security threat in Europe, and for that reason I think that we should have a policy for more more collaboration between counter disinformation actors, and this could involve EU NATO level actors, different agencies on the governmental level, media sector, private sector, grassroots actors, fact checkers, all the way from top to down. And the point would be to share information, find solutions for countermeasures in a collective and coordinated way, also to have proactive measures. And in this way, we could actually build a common platform for having this collaboration and to aiming that actors spreading disinformation, such as foreign actors or their proxies, would actually dissuade from spreading the disinformation. So I think this would be something important.
The consequences of unchecked disinformation is that they are a big risk to not only to our democracies, but also to our national security. The thing is, if you don't have shared facts, you don't have a shared truth, you don't have a shared reality, and if you don't have a shared reality, how are we going to do democratic processes and reach compromises?